So I'm going to walk through a presentation here and talk about nutrition, weight control, and so you understand my background, we've been in business for 15 years, and I come from the roots, as Sean said, just like everybody in this room. One of the things that happened that just totally hit me upside the head was one of our clients, we owned a small studio, it's 1,500 square feet. We're doing roughly $280,000 in personal training revenue. And we had a client come in, he lost 40 pounds, and I found out that he was on the board of directors for the American Dietetic Association. He lived in this wampum castle behind our gym, huge home, retired millionaire, owned a mergers and acquisitions company, and he approached me on the treadmill. I was, in my bodybuilding days, of course, doing the treadmill in the morning, treadmill at night, and I'm just walking. He comes up and he says, "Hey, I am blown away with how these meal plans have changed my life. I'm just eating regular foods, and this software that you've developed should be taken mainstream because it teaches you how to eat right, how to make the right food choices. It has changed my life. Now it's changed my wife's life, our sons. They play football. They're eating differently. And I think, coming now full span of 15 years and being very involved in the medical community, I go to all these medical conventions. I speak there. I meet with bariatric physicians, bariatric surgeons that do lap band. The bottom line, people, is people have to learn how to eat. They have to be educated on what to eat. There's no quick fix, no magic pill, there's no supplements, no powders, no pills that will ever replace them understanding how to eat correctly. And you will retain twice as many clients, you're going to have twice as many satisfied clients if you get them on some type of eating program. But the biggest challenge for you is to convince them the value of why they need to pay you for this type of information, okay? And you have a captive audience. It's 10 times easier to sell something to somebody you've already have their business than it is to go out and find new accounts or new customers. But since you have that captive audience, the challenge is convincing them of your value proposition of what you can do for them. Because I can tell you that the big no-no has been for years that trainers, aside from being scared of the liability impact of nutrition, is they give stuff away for free. Now, if they're just giving away handouts and things like that, that's fine. But when you talk about the platform that I'm going to show you here shortly, and you're dealing with registered dietitian design menu plans, you have to understand the value, because where can this person go to get this kind of advice, and how much are they going to pay? And I'll talk about that here in a minute. So challenges with weight control, there's 3 big factors, and this is coming right out of, we're talking a slide right out of my bariatric presentation. The physiological, which is genetics. There's certain things you just can't change about your body. We all know that, right? That's why they have liposuction. The second is the physiological, which has to deal with the state of mind and the emotions. Not to get too deep off in that, but emotional attachment to food in today's society is huge, absolutely huge. Divorce is at the all-time high with the economy the way it is, all this kind of stuff. People gravitate to things they feel comfortable with, and one of them is food. For me, it's watching ESPN at 11 o'clock at night with milk and cookies. I don't know, there's something about it. I love it. Been doing it for years. The sociological impact with environment, relationships, and family. And I'll give you, the environment is lifestyle. Hey, on the go, businessman, don't have time to take a cooler with me, you know how it is like in the whole bodybuilding or athletic industry. You're packing your food, you're carrying it with you. People aren't going to do that. The normal person, the average Joe, and the homemaker, it's very difficult for them to do that in their lifestyle and fit in and be comfortable. It's too tough. They won't do it. The other thing that's a problem is, and I can speak from personal experience, is let's say one of your clients is a mom. She got 2 kids and she's got a husband, And she goes home, and it's chicken breast, it's egg whites, it's steamed rice, and or whatever. And the husband comes home for dinner, and he's like, "Where is my meat and potatoes? Where is my gravy? Where's my bread and butter?" I mean, this puts a lot of stress on the mom that maybe your client, because she's trying to cook right for herself, but yet she's got to sit in front of her husband or her sons eating pizza, going to birthday parties. I don't know about you guys, but I've got 2 boys. One is very heavily into sports and football, and every frickin' weekend after the game, we go to the pizza place, and we all sit down and it's pizza and beer. Why can't we go someplace that serves healthy food? You walk in there, it's like, not pizza again. It's just, I don't know. It's amazing. So there's a lot of environmental and the sociological pressures about diet and food choices.